we'll get started. So I'm going to so what this little workshop is called is Screencasting for Teachers, and other staff members who might want to use this, not necessarily just related to teachers, but it's a good tool to use to explain information, walk students through a set of steps or whatever, and basically create like a video of an explainer video type thing that you can send out to the kids and then they can view it on their own time. It's not something that needs to be a live session or anything like that. So if you want to make some asynchronous video type things, type lessons, this is the way to go. There's a bunch of different screencasting tools out there. The one that I'm going to go over today is called Screencastify. And ones that I've used in the past are Screencast-O-Matic. That's another one. That's a good one too. And then if you have a Mac, I've used QuickTime. You can use QuickTime to do that too. And they all kind of work the same way, where they record what you're doing on the screen, they record your voice, they record your picture, your videos, so that your participants can kind of see you. So they all kind of work kind of in the same way. So once you learn one, you can work your way into some of the other ones too, if you ever need to. One of the things with Screencastify is, like a lot of other companies have done, they're offering that you can upgrade your account through like the end of the school year, basically, because right now Screencastify has a 5-minute limit for recordings that you want to make. And sometimes that's okay if you just wanted to explain like one problem or do a quick set of directions or something like that. But if you want unlimited one, I'll email you the code. I'll email everybody the code so they can set up their account to have that unlimited minutes to make the videos. Alrighty, so I'm going to share my screen. If you have any questions, just stop me. You can unmute yourselves, raise your hand, whatever you need to do, and you can post a question in the chat box, whatever you need to do there. All right, I'm just going to lower this here. Those are my participants. Whoops. Oh, we don't need to chat right now. Okay. So Screencastify, the best way to start is to go to the website. It's the Screencastify website. So screencastify.com is the website. You can just Google Screencastify. And they've got a lot of tutorials and stuff on here. So if you forget any of this information that I give you, or you just want to kind of review or dive a little bit deeper, you can definitely do that. So here's the Screencastify website. And what you see is you've got a gray button over here in the upper right-hand corner and another gray button here that says already installed. If I didn't have Screencastify already installed on my device, those would be blue and say install on Chrome for now. So it's a Chrome extension that you would just install in your browser, and which means you can use it on a Chromebook, you can use it on a Mac, on a PC. And so you want to install the extension first. So if you haven't done that already, that's going to be your first step that you're going to do. Then once you have your extension installed, you're going to go into your account. And when you have your account, when you first log into your account, it's going to ask to sync up with your Google account. So you're just going to sign in with your NPS Google password, Google account, so your email and password, linking it through Google. And then you'll be good to go there. So this is my account. I'm already signed in here. I can see that I've got my information over here. And then what I want to do is I want to get to the main dashboard here, which is not letting me do that. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so I remember what to do now. So sometimes you don't do things over and over again, or I just go do the one set of steps that I normally do, and I don't take you through the whole thing. All right, so anyway, so I've got the extension installed. I have my account created and all that good stuff. So you know that your extension is installed by, you have this little icon here. When you click on that icon, that's going to be kind of like your central space to go, because it's going to be where you're going to start and stop your recordings. And it's also going to be where you're going to go to view all of your recordings that you have. So when you click on this button, this little pop-up opens up here. It's going to ask you if you want to record your browser tab, or your desktop, or your webcam only. So a couple of different options that you have here. So browser tab means it's just going to record anything that happens in this tab. So if I open up another tab, it's not going to record in the other tab at all. So a lot of times links when you're in one tab will send you into a new tab automatically. It's not going to record the new tab automatically. So I tend to avoid recording in browser tab unless I know specifically I'm just going to stay in that one tab. I usually just do desktop, and that's going to capture the whole desktop. And what you can do with that later on is once you start recording your desktop, or once you finish recording your desktop, you can crop it. So like you can kind of see the background of my computer screen here. If you don't want that, if you just want the kids to focus on what's in the browser, you can crop the picture so that it just includes what's happening in your browser. And a lot of times I find that that's easier than trying to keep it all in one tab. And then the other thing you can do is webcam only. And webcam only is just going to record you, the video of you. So you want to do that when you're doing, like, if you want to send a quick email message to a particular student, or you just want to explain, the goals for the week in terms of assignments or things like that, or just want to give a quick explanation on something. Just taking a video of you explaining something, basically. So that's webcam only. 9 times out of 10, I do desktop, and that's it. Because with the desktop, yes, it's going to record what's on my screen, but it's also going to give me a little window kind of in the lower corner of the screen to see me also. And you've seen this whenever I make my videos. This is how I do it. So you see what I'm talking about, the little video there. These are your options for your microphone and for your webcam. So you want to make sure these are both turned on, and it might give you another pop-up asking you to allow permission. So you do want to do that. You want to make sure that you give it all the permission it needs to access your microphone so it can hear you, and your webcam so it can see you. And if you have multiple microphones, then you can select the particular one here. Most of the time, it's just your default built-in one. And you can see that the microphone's working by the green stuff here is going up and down. It means it's registering my voice. If you don't see any of that, then it's not picking up your voice. So you might want to click on that, and you can adjust the slider to allow it to be more sensitive. So if you kind of have a softer voice, then you can turn this up so it's going to pick it up a little bit more clearly. And then the webcam works the same way. So if you only have one webcam, which I only have one, it's going to give you only that option there, and that's that. Again, it might ask you for permission to access that, so you just click allow and do that. So some of the other options up here we'll get to in a little bit. I'm just going to kind of start up a recording here just to kind of show you what it looks like once you started a recording. So when you have all of this all set up, ready to go, you've got whatever it is that you want to share with the kids, whether it's a website or a Google slide presentation or something that lives on your computer, anything like that. Once you're ready to go, you're going to click record. So I'm going to click record here, and you're going to see here that I've got a little picture of me here. Hi, here I am. And you've got this little pop-up here in the middle of the screen that says share your screen. So now here you can choose to share your entire screen or just a particular application window. So if I want to stay in this browser, in this Chrome browser here, but be able to open up different tabs, then you can do application window. Again, I like to just keep it simple. So I just let it record my entire screen. So I'm going to click on entire screen, and then I'm going to click on the blue share button here. And then once I do that, it's going to give me a little countdown. 3, 2, 1, and now it's recording my screen. So now I've got the webcam, I've got the screencast started. And so anything that happens on my screen is going to be recorded. Any notifications that pop up are going to be recorded on my screen. So if you can figure out how to turn off your notifications on your computer, that's probably a good idea if you tend to get a lot of notifications. On a Mac, I do it. It's super easy. I just click on this notifications bar and do not disturb. So I know that I'm not going to do that. But depending on if you're on a PC or on a Chromebook, there's different ways to do that. I can post instructions for how to do that later. So it's recording everything on my screen. While I'm recording, I have some tools that I have available. Sorry, I keep moving things around here so that you can see what I need you to see. So the main tools that you have available when you're recording on your screen are going to be down here in the lower left-hand corner. So this is the pause button. This is going to pause recording. So if I hit that, it's not recording. Whoops, hello. It's not recording my screen anymore. So if I need to answer the phone or gather my thoughts or look at my notes really quickly or something like that, I can pause it and then I can resume it. If I pause it because I made a terrible mistake and it's pretty close to the beginning of the video, I can restart the recording by clicking this kind of refresh button here. If I want to stop the recording, I decide I'm not ready to do this right now, I can hit stop right there. So that's once you hit the pause button. So I'm going to hit play again, and it's going to continue recording. The next icon here is your mouse pointer, and your mouse pointer can do a couple of things. It can you can hide the cursor. So for instance, if I click that, when my mouse stops moving, then the mouse disappears. So then if I stop for a few minutes and I explain, the mouse isn't in the middle of the screen. Then when I move it again, it pops back up. If I want to just focus on the mouse, so say I want to really highlight this button here, I can click that focus button and it's going to be like a spotlight. Okay, so that's what that does there. And then I just click it again to turn it off. And then if I want to have it highlight my clicks so that there's a little red circle around things every time I click, I'm going to click that button. And then every time I click, so it just kind of brings out where you're clicking. That's useful when you're doing a set of directions for, okay, you're going to click here, you're going to click here, you're going to do this. You can do that there. So that is that. I'm going to turn that off for now. Next one is the pen tool. So like say I wanted to like circle something, or I wanted to draw an arrow to something, or I wanted to do a quick like math thing, then I can do that. If I want to change the colors, I can change the colors. So totally up to you, but that's just marking it up as if it's like a whiteboard type thing. And it's just a pen. It's not like you can change the tip or anything like that and have it be like a marker or a paintbrush or things like that. It's just, it is what it is. If you want to erase what you've done, you click on the eraser. And this, on its default, is just going to erase the area that the eraser is in. If you want to erase pretty much everything there, you can just click on this button. That's going to wipe the screen clear. That's for the eraser. This is going to toggle on and off the webcam. So if I don't want to be here anymore, I can click off the webcam and I can click it back on here. And then this is going to close these tools. It's going to hide the tools. The thing with hiding the tools is if you don't want this little toolbar to show up all the time in your recording, you can turn it off. But if then you want to end up using the tool, you got to make sure you remember what the shortcut is. So on my computer, it's Option T, but you can see that it pops up there. So you just have to check and see which it is. If I close this, if I want it back, I got to hit Option T and then it will pop back up. That's what I did there. All right. Any questions about any of those tools? Pretty self-explanatory and not super complex. It's just those are the tools, that's what you got, and that's pretty much it there. All right, so I'm going to stop this recording. So I'm going to stop the recording. I'm done recording my screencast. And what happens once I'm done recording my screencast is it's going to open up a new tab, and it's going to load up what you've recorded so far. And in this state here, you've got some basic editing options as far as trimming the recording here. So you can trim it down to be, if like the end you're just clicking around or whatever, and it's not really part of the explanation, you can trim it down to eliminate that stuff. Or if you got a bad start and you want to trim the beginning, you can do that. And then, but if it is what it is and it's good to go and you're fine with that, then you can just use one of these share buttons to share it with your audience. Okay. If you want to do a little bit more editing, then you're going to open up in the editor, and that's got a little bit more features here. If you want to change the name, you just click in there. I'm going to call this a sample screencast. And then I'm going to open it up in the editor to show you what that kind of looks like. So when you want to edit it, is it when you want to, if there's like spaces in the middle of the video where there's either dead time because your computer decided to not cooperate anymore, or you made a mistake, you didn't stop it, and you just want to kind of erase the mistake and kind of trim that out of there. You can do all that kind of stuff here in the editor. So like this is not cooperating right now. So I'm going to close that and try it again. You can also add text. So if you want to add in like step 1, do this, step 2, do this, you want to type it out for students too. Sometimes that's good because then it kind of draws their attention to what they should be paying attention to. You can do that in the editor as well. Here we go. You can also add clips. So say there's something that you forgot in what you were recording and you want to add that in next, you can do that in here too. All right, so this is what the editor looks like. And so you have 2 little handles here on the left-hand corner and the right-hand corner. That's going to be able to trim the video. So you're going to click and drag that in if you want to trim it to a particular point. So like I said, if you had to restart, then you can grab this and drag that in there, and that's going to erase all the stuff that's in the gray. All right. Same thing at the end. If there's extra clicks or anything, you're just wrapping up and you want to trim the end point, you can click that and drag it. And again, the stuff that's in the gray is going to be the stuff that's going to go away. If you want to trim in the middle, you're going to click, obviously you're going to watch it and you're going to figure out where you want to trim. So I'm going to say, I'm going to click here. I want to trim from this point to a little bit later in the video. I'm going to click there and then I'm going to click the scissors to cut. And what that's going to do is it's going to split the video here. All right. And now say I want to cut all the way up to this point. I'm going to click here and then I'm going to click the scissors. And then that creates this little extra kind of smaller box here. I'm going to just click that and delete it. And now that little piece is gone. So now seamlessly it'll go from here to the next section here. And then like I said before about text, if I want to add in text, again, you want to click in where you want to put the text first. So this text is going to be inserted at this point in the recording here. And I can type something. This is important. And you have some formatting options here, like bold, or you can change the font, and you can change the size, and you can change its location, kind of. You can do top or bottom, however you need to do that. All right, so that's the text tool there, and that's pretty much it. The thing I mentioned before about adding in a clip, if you are, you need to add in extra stuff, this is where you're going to do that. So you click on that, and it's going to ask you to add in the clip. So what you'd do is you'd go and make another recording, you'd save it, and then you'd import it into here. All right, so once you're good with all that, you're going to want to save it to your Google Drive. So you click Save to your Google Drive, and you're going to name it. Again, Screencast Sample. Click Save. Saves right to my Google Drive. And then what's going to happen is it's going to generate a link that you can share with your kids, post it in Google Classroom. You can also see this little cloud button here with the download arrow. If you want to upload it to YouTube, you're going to download it to your computer first, and then you're going to upload it to YouTube. If you go back to the original tab where the original video is, you can also automatically publish it to YouTube or share it to your Google Classroom here. There's more options when you click more options. Send an email, make a QR code, share to Wakelet if that's something that you use. And then you've got some download options here. I think that's it as far as tools and stuff that you need to have in recording. So you see here that I do the Screencastify Unlimited. I've had the Screencast subscription since the beginning of the year. It's $29 a year, so it's not really super expensive. But like I said, because of the whole coronavirus thing, they have a free upgrade. So I'll share the code with you there, so you can do that. Any questions about any of that?
Is this a good, if I wanted to like read a story and record a story, would this be good to use Screencastify, or would there be a different way to do that?
So you can do it a couple of ways. I would do it. So if it's something that you have pictures of the book that you're reading, and you want them to follow along and you have them in like PDFs or something like that, then you could display the PDF on your computer and then read along with that. If you're doing like, you know, hi boys and girls, here's our book, and you're going through the pages like this. Oh, Alexis doesn't want me to show you. So if you're doing like that kind of style, then you could use any kind of video recording tool that you have. You could just use the camera right on your device, but you could definitely use this. I would just do the webcam option. So when you go to record, like we talked about at the beginning, when you click on the Screencastify button here, do webcam only, and then, you know, one page at a time. But yeah, this would be a great tool for doing that. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then the nice thing about it is too, I mean, a lot of authors, when you're talking about that specifically, you know, with all the copyright rules and whatnot, generally they don't want you creating like audio versions of their books because that infringes on their copyright.
Right.
So to post it to YouTube, people are hesitant to do that because then it's out there in the public. If you make these videos and you just share it on your Google Drive, then you're just sharing it with your classroom. So it's not something that you're violating any kind of copyright laws or anything like that. Good question.
Thanks.
Any other questions? It's pretty straightforward. So what I do when I make my screencast, that's like kind of the simplest way that you can do it. I take another step and I'll usually download it. And then, like I said, because I use a Mac, I have iMovie on my Mac. That's how I add in like the intro, the music and things like that. You kind of have some more kind of editing options with iMovie and with some programs that live on your computer. But if it's just a simple lesson or something that you want to share with the kids, it doesn't need to be anything fancy. This is a super easy way for you guys to be able to do that.
Anthony, I had a question.
Sure.
So I have done some read alouds for text-based assignments for the kids for history. And so I've recorded it, try to use the underlining tool, which I'm horrible at, but you know, I'll get better.
Yeah.
And every time I turn on my computer, it says you have, like I've done 3, and it says you have 3 videos not in your drive yet, or whatever, not saved in your drive. I think I put them in my drive. I click on Google Drive. What am I not clicking on right?
So, and you're using Screencastify?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it should automatically save it to your Google Drive.
It is in there, and I share it with the teacher, so it's in there, but it always pops up that I haven't saved it yet. So.
Yeah. And are you making any edits to it? Are you like trimming it or anything like that?
No, I haven't done any edits.
It is what it is.
Yeah, what it is.
Yeah, that just seems like a weird glitch. I don't know why that would be happening.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think you're doing anything wrong as far as that goes.
All right, good. And you're going to share that code with us, you said?
Yeah, I'll email it out to everybody. When I email this recording, this is kind of walk through. I'll email it out to everybody with the code. Yeah.
Well, thank you. It
was
great. I didn't know what all those tools were. I knew the underlying tool of the writing tool, but the other ones I did not know what they were. So
yeah, and it's funny because I can't think that fast a lot of the times, like to actually make use of the tools. So it's something where like I don't particularly use those tools, especially like the markup tools and things like that, while I'm making the recording. It's something I kind of think of after the fact. So you could always go back and re-record it and then use the tools, or just kind of really, if you're a good planner, then really plan it out just to know that they're available and that you can break those out if you need to. But yeah, they are good tools.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Any other questions? Okay.
I got a question.
Go ahead, Neil.
Except it's when I'm in Google Meet, is there a way to put up, like if I want to read a document to them, is there a way for me to put that up so that's in front of them while I read it? I can't figure out how. I know it's not this program, but.
Yeah, so
or do I have to use this?
No, you wouldn't have to use this. Do you have what you're reading to them on like a file on your computer?
It's on a PDF in Google Classroom.
Yeah. So then all you're going to do is in Google Meet is present your screen and share and bring up the PDF while you're sharing your screen. Do you know how to share your screen in Google Meet?
Maybe not.
All right, I'll show you that really quick. There's a bonus tutorial here.
Yeah, sorry to change the subject.
No, that's okay. That's totally fine. All right, so when I'm in Google Meet, All right, I'm going to start a meet here. When I'm in Google Meet, you've done this before. You've presented because you asked me, you were fooling around with this the last time we met, because it emails the recording to you. Oh no, that's different. Sorry, never mind. I take it back. I'm lying. Sometimes I lie, Neil.
No.
It's not good. All right.
Yeah, we're in the middle of a power outage. I have the generator hooked up. I'm waiting for the sump pump to work to make sure it's okay.
Oh man, I know that's what Maria emailed me, and she said that you guys had the power outage. So I was surprised to see you here, but that's cool that you got the generator
working.
No, nice, nice. Alrighty, so I'm in my Google Meet, and down in the lower part of the screen, you've got Present Now here. This button. You see that?
What's that? Go ahead. Show. Yeah, present now. Yeah.
Yep. So you're going to click Present Now. Hi, Marie.
I yelled.
My computer doesn't work. I can't do it. It's too hard for me.
Right. Show me how to add the writing to the.
All right. So you're going to present now, and then you're going to do your entire screen.
Entire screen. All right.
Then you're going to get this little pop-up here. And you're going to click on the image of your desktop.
Click on image.
And then you're going to click share.
Share.
And then you're going to you're not going to see the people in your Google Meet at that point. It's going to kind of just create a different screen for you.
This is just like if I'm recording by myself without a meeting, I want to just record it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, then you wouldn't do this in Google Meet. You do this, if you were doing this live with kids, then you do it in Google Meet. But if you're doing it in Screencastify, you're going to record your screen.
All right. But you can continue on in case I do this live. This is good.
All right, cool. Sorry, I already stopped it.
Sorry.
But we got to the point where that's it. So then you're sharing your screen. And then once you're sharing your screen, everything that you see on there, so you can bring up that PDF of what you were going to read to the kids. You can bring that right up and then just read it to them. And then you're good to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, that's definitely a good use of it. Go ahead.
I have a question, and I know while you're in Google Meet or whatever, is there a reason why I can't get the grid view to work? I've got it loaded. I've got it, but like, even though, because I saw yours was like crossed off when you first logged in or whatever, and mine's crossed off, but I unclick it and I still can't get
it.
It doesn't
do anything. So I think, what had happened was when we got word of all these fun extensions, so there were 3 extensions that kind of all came out at the same time. There was the grid, nod to raise your hand, and then the attendance tracker thingy.
Yeah.
So those 3, I pushed all 3 of those out all at the same time to all the staff members.
Yeah.
And the grid came out first, and that was working for me at first. And then once I added nod and the attendance tracker, it stopped working. So I feel like one of those is kind of interfering with grid. And so what I did was I changed the settings so that you can remove all those extensions and then re-add them.
Okay.
So I would remove nod and I'd remove attendance.
Okay.
And just try and do grid the next time, and that should work.
Okay.
If it doesn't still, let me know. I just made that change today. So
okay.
So check it out.
All right.
Yeah. Cool. Any other questions? All right, friends. All right, that'll be it for today then. You're welcome. Yep. Let me know if you need anything, and I'll send out the email with the code in a little bit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. All right. Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.